Okay, Unit 3 review. You got your test tomorrow. Go ahead and get started. We have number 1 and 2. Write the equation of the graph. What is the line's x-intercept? So, two parts here. One is writing the equation. One is finding the intercept. The equation is going to be y equals mx plus b. We find the m by looking at the rise over run of the two dots. So, start here, we count our rise, we count our run. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is positive 1, 2, 3. My slope is 4/3. So, y equals 4/3 x. My y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. Plus 4. There is my equation. We also need the x-intercept. The x-intercept, the only way to really get that is to look at, well, not the only way. The easiest way is to look at the graph and just see where your line crosses the x-axis. Negative 1, 2, 3. So the x-intercept is negative 3. Number 2, same thing. We have y equals mx plus b. We have to find the m, the slope. I count my rise over run. I rise down 5 and run positive 2. So my slope is negative 5/2. X. Y-intercept is off the graph. So I need to do some thinking here. I know my slope is over 2. Well, reversing it, I can start at this dot here. Up 5/2. Up 5 more over 2. That puts me on my y-axis. So this is up 5. This is up 5 more. That puts my y-intercept at 10. So plus 10. X-intercept is looking at the graph. 1, 2, 3. It crosses the x-axis at 4. So I got my equation, and I have my x-intercept. We're good there. Number 3. Whoop. Good there. Erase that. I guess you can pause it if you need to look at the answers for longer. Number 3, convert the equations to slope-intercept form. That's y equals mx plus b form. And identify the slope, y-intercept, and x-intercept. So, get the y all by itself, canceling out everything else using opposite operations. I want to cancel out the 3x first. It's a positive 3x. I do minus 3x to both sides. That goes away. Negative 2y equals negative 3x minus 8. Don't forget this is a negative 2y. Don't miss that negative sign. Next, I have a negative 2 that is multiplied to y. I divide everything by negative 2. So, y equals negative 3 over negative 2 is positive 3/2x. Negative 8 over negative 2 is positive 4. So there's my equation. Now the x-intercept, we need to graph it. You can graph it on your calculator. You can graph it on some scratch graph paper. You could even use this little graph up there and kind of graph it just wherever you have room. Or the x-intercept on the graph is going to be somewhere along this x-axis. So any point along there has to look like something, comma, 0. My y value in that ordered pair is 0. So the other thing you could do, other than graphing it, take your equation. Well, let's do it over here where we have room. Y equals 3/2x plus 4. I know my y has to be 0, so I can plug that in right there. If I can find x now, that's going to be my x-intercept. Minus 4 to both sides. We have negative 4 equals 3/2 2x. Canceling out the 3 over 2, I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal, 2/3. 2/3. So, those cancel out. I have x equals 2/3 times -4 gives me, multiply the tops, 2 times -4 is -8. Multiply the bottoms, 3. -8/3 is my x-intercept. On the test, that will be a whole number. It'll be a lot easier. Graphing it's probably the way to go on the test. So, that is number 3. Here's your equation. Here's your x-intercept. I'm going to erase it now. So pause it if you need it. Okay. Same thing here. Solve for y. Get y by itself. Minus 3x. Minus 3x. Negative y equals negative 3x minus 3. This is a negative 1y right there. Divide by negative 1 to everything. I have y equals negative 3 over negative 1 is positive 3x. Same thing there, plus 3. If I graph this one, the last one I solved with an equation. Number 3, I found the x-intercept using an equation. Here, I'm just going to find the x-intercept using a graph. 3x plus 3. You could graph this on your calculator too, just as easily. My y-intercept is positive 3. My slope is 3 over 1, so count up 3 over 1, and then I could count down 3 over 1 as well. So there's my x-intercept, negative 1. Okay, moving on. Number 5. We have 2 ordered pairs we need an equation for. It's taking a lot longer than I thought it would. 7 minutes in, I only have 15 minutes. I might have to split up the front in a separate video than the back. Write the equation of a line that passes through these 2 ordered pairs, negative 1, 6, and 1, 12. What I've always told you to do is to graph this, get a mental image of what this looks like in your head, so we can kind of get an idea of what to expect. So here's what's going on in my head right now. Negative 1, 6 is right here. 1, 12 is right here. There's my line. I know I'm going to have a positive slope. I know I'm going to have a pretty high y-intercept. So, positive slope and a high y-int. That's what I know I'm expecting for my equation. So, if I don't get that, something went wrong. First slope formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We're going to do 12 minus 6 over 1 minus negative 1. That's that right there. That gives me 6 over, change, 2. 6 over 2 reduces to 3. Reduce your slopes, always. Don't give me 6 over 2, don't give me 3 over 1. So that's my m. My slope is 3. Next, I'm going to look at the point slope formula. Y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. I choose either point. I don't like negatives, so I'm not going to choose that one. Here's my x1. Here's my y1. So, y minus 12 equals m x minus 1. Distribute. 3x minus 3. Y minus 12 equals 3x minus 3. Get rid of this minus 12 by adding 12 to both sides. I'm running out of room here. So, I'm left with y equals 3x, negative 3 plus 12 gives me plus 9. So, I do have a positive slope. I know I'm good there. I do have a pretty high y-intercept. 9 is pretty high. So, I am fairly confident that that is correct. Another way to check it, plug in 1 Let me erase all this stuff. 1 comma 12 I have here. Plug in 1 as your x. This x right here. See what you get. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 9 is 12. That's good. Over here, plug in negative 1 for your x. 3 times negative 1 is negative 3, plus 9 is positive 6. So, we're good. 2 different ways to check your answer. The next one, slope formula. Y minus y. 2 minus 2 over x minus x. 4 minus negative 6. We get 0 over, change, 10. 0 over 10 is 0. That is a normal slope. Do not treat this any differently than you did the last problem. Our m is 0. I know a lot of times y'all get a 0 slope and you guys just panic and think it's all different. It's not different. Now, undefined is very different, but 0 is not. So now my point slope formula, y minus 2 equals m, which is 0, x minus 4. 0x minus 0. Uh-oh, there's the bell. This is all nothing. Add 2 to both sides. We get y equals 0x is nothing. Negative 0 plus 2 is 2. There is your equation right there. Okay?